People now, Carrie Underwood is pregnant. We have details.
And I like his song, and I want to kiss him.
That's Kelley Clarkson's little girl crushing on Chris Martin. That is so me, so I can't say I blame her.
So cute. Plus, we are breaking down last night's Bachelor in Paradise.
If you kiss another guy while you're dating someone else, it's cheating in my book. That really hurt me.
All today on People Now.
All right, happy Wednesday. Welcome to People Now. We have the wonderful Meghan Wright filling in for Carrie.
Hello.
Is that jury duty?
Yes.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Actually, I didn't know people actually left and got called for jury duty. And
It's an actual thing, you guys. But we have some good news for all the cat lovers out there today.
It's International Cat Day.
Woo!
Cats aren't just great pets, but they are also the perfect, you heard how I did that? Yeah, way to make us laugh on Twitter. So we want to know, what's your favorite cat gift?
Yeah, so tweet us your favorite cat gift with the hashtag PeopleNow. You may see it on the show. For now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. So congratulations are in order for Carrie Underwood. Woo-woo, she is pregnant. The country pop singer and her husband, NHL player Mike Fisher, announced Wednesday morning they are expecting their second child. We'll have all the details a little later in the show, including the very sweet way she announced their happy news to the world, so stick around for that. But first, on to this. With Meghan Markle's phone streaming her favorite soul and rock and roll music and her faithful rescue beagle at her feet, it could have been any other sunny morning for the actress as she sat having her hair and makeup done. Except on this particular day, her stylist was fashioning her hair around a glittering tiara on loan from the Queen of England as she prepared to meet her groom, Prince Harry, at Windsor Castle. Totally casual, no big deal. In this week's issue of People, Markle's makeup artist Daniel Martin says that day was, quote, just like hanging out with your friend on our wedding day. The last thing we said to each other was, see you on the other side. And the other side is proving to be a bold, fresh one, not just for Meghan, but also for the royal family itself. Meghan and Harry's May 19th wedding ushered in a new era for the Windsors, whose journey has been helmed for the past 66 years and counting by 92-year-old Queen Elizabeth. Royal biographer Andrew Morton puts it best when he says, ever since Queen Victoria's reign nearly 200 years ago, women have dominated and ruled the House of Windsor. I like to hear that. Morton and Martin are among the friends and palace insiders who appear in the story of the royals. It's a two-night People and ABC television event airing on August 22nd and 23rd. We'll take a peek at the special a little later in the show, so stick around for that. And in this week's issue of People, we're exploring the story of those royal women, like the Queen, who unexpectedly found herself immediately in line for the throne when her uncle Edward renounced the throne in favor of marrying a twice-divorced American, Wallis Simpson, and the late Princess Diana, whose influence made the monarchy more inclusive, more affectionate, more accessible. And don't worry, we also follow the royal line to present day with Harry and Meghan's wedding and the birth of Prince Louis. You can pick up a copy of that when the issue hits newsstands on Friday. Pink is continuing to be candid with her fans amid a health battle that led her to cancel a series of concerts. After a stay at an Australian hospital for a gastric virus, the What About Us singer shared a photo on Instagram of the Sydney Opera House, captioning it in part, on Monday, we were absolutely planning on going ahead with the show, and about 20 minutes before I left for soundcheck, I was rushed to the hospital in excruciating pain. That was the reason for the late cancellation. It was out of anyone's control and, of course, wasn't planned that way. Pink goes on to say that she will return to the stage on August 11th and that the postponed performances will be rescheduled. She concludes the post saying, quote, I will be drinking green tea and spending time with my kids. That's a warning to paparazzi. You might actually see me walking upright outside of my hotel room cage with two little children. And another warning, I might even smile. Not too much though, I'll try to control the smiling. Yes, Pink always telling it like it is. Get well soon. All right, now watch this.
When Ashley and I left Winter Games, I knew I wanted to marry her one day, and then all of a sudden, Jared flips the switch and now he wants to be with her. I did try to make it work, but if you kiss another guy while you're dating someone else, it's cheating in my book. That really hurt me. I heard through the Bachelor grapevine that Ashley and Jared are dating now, so time to move on.
Oh, the drama. Bachelor
gosh.
in Paradise is back and already making headlines after Kevin accuses Ashley of cheating on him with Jared. Luckily, the handsome Canadian has his eyes set on Crystal, who some contestants noticed sounded a little different this time around. The two hit it off and sealed their spark with a kiss. Crystal telling the cameras Kevin has pillow lips. I appreciate them. He's like a real man. I really want pillow lips now. And of course, this wouldn't be Paradise without a love triangle. And this one involves Colton, Tia, and Chris. Tia makes it clear that she's still interested in a relationship with Colton, but when he fails to show up night one, she's all about moving on with Chris. The two have a very romantic night together until, wait for it, yes, Colton shows up. he has a date card. After talking with the other women and leaving the rest of the group very confused by his intentions, he ultimately decides to go on the date with Tia. Although he doesn't give her a clear answer about his feelings, it is pretty clear the two still care about each other and even exchange a few kisses. Let's just say she's absolutely smitten, but the rest of her Paradise co-stars aren't nearly as thrilled. Back on the beach, the remaining singles plot to confront Colton for being there for the wrong reasons, and the rest of the story will be continued next week. Did you follow all that drama?
This is a lot of drama.
A lot of drama.
I don't know if I could ever be on a dating. I couldn't.
I don't think so. I would probably make out with everyone, and then my mom would be very disappointed. But that's why we like to watch these shows. You have even more friends.
We're gonna kick off Star Treks today with one fashionable movie premiere. Crazy Rich Asians premiered Tuesday night in Los Angeles, and the fashion on the carpet was crazy amazing. You see how I also did that? Yeah.
Yes.
In keeping with the theme of extravagance in the movie, the stars were dressed in millions of dollars worth of diamonds, couture gowns, and tuxedos. Lead actress Constance Wu dazzled the crowd in a silver sequined Ralph and Russo gown and had custom earrings created by Lorraine Swartz to match. And newcomer Henry Golding, who plays the leading man Nick Young, looked dashing in a light blue satin suit jacket designed by Tom Ford himself. It's got to be nice. This is Golding's first role as an actor, and here's what the rookie had to say about this crazy experience.
My whole life at the moment has been a Cinderella moment. So I'm just waiting for that sort of like pumpkin to explode, and it's going to be all over my face, and I'm going to wake up back in sort of my three-piece couch that I usually sleep on.
And rapper-actress Awkwafina looked gorgeous in a light pink gown with a hidden red bow in the back. And even though she rocked the sophisticated look on the camera, on the carpet, her character in the film is much more down to earth. She's like a college BFF. But she revealed why she didn't mind leaving the high fashion to the others while filming in the Singapore and Malaysian heat.
So everyone was sweating in a nightgown or whatever they call them. I was breathing, girl. I was breathing. I loved it. Who's hot now? Who's hot now? Not me, because I'm wearing pajamas. It's tight.
I love her. Crazy Rich Asians hits theaters on August 15th. Now moving on to this, let's take a look.
Chris Martin, I like him, and he's beautiful, and I like.
You like his song?
And I like his song, and I want to kiss him.
You want to kiss? You can't kiss him.
Watch out, Dakota Johnson. Kelly Clarkson's 4-year-old daughter is coming for your man and my man, too. That's 4-year-old River Rose confessing to her crush on the Coldplay lead singer, telling her mom, I like him and he's beautiful. Kelly tweeted out the video writing, so my daughter wants to marry Chris Martin and is obsessed with his song Yellow. She wants to marry the boy in the video, which I have informed her he is not a boy anymore and has kids older than her, but she will have none of it. She is determined. That is my kind of girl. That's how you get your man. River Rose's determination probably comes as no surprise to Clarkson. In April, she told People that her youngest daughter does not heed advice very well. She's very ballsy, which is awesome. And although she's only 4, this little one is already showing a lot of personality. Kelly described her to People as very bold, and she's progressive. She watches Jurassic Park and loves it, and Harry Potter. I also love Harry Potter, so I think it's like a prerequisite to like Chris Martin. It doesn't affect her, and she's just very grown up and very bossy. Kelly, I think you officially have the words coolest 4-year-old for sure. Brian Kelley's Tennessee house is on the market. Let's see if I can afford it. The Florida Georgia Line singer is selling the 70-acre property outside Nashville that he purchased in 2013, and it's only $6.2 million. That's it. For that much money, it could be yours. The property includes a barn, a saloon, a main house, 2 guest houses, plus a tree house that Brian and his wife Brittany added in 2014 for the Animal Planet show Treehouse Masters. That's just slightly different than my studio apartment. They have a little bit more than me. And this isn't Tarzan's treehouse. Brian told People that the custom edition, which is connected to the main house with the 30-foot sky bridge, is, quote, the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It even has AC and plumbing. Wow. It's a man cave in the trees. Every time we're in town, we're out doing something, we're like, you ready to jet and go hang out in the treehouse? We end every night in there. Kelly also took advantage of the treehouse's recording studio. It has a recording studio, telling People for the next album, we'll be doing the vocals there in the studio, and I'm going to be writing out there all the time. It's a perfect inspirational place. Now, the main house is pretty sweet too, affectionately dubbed the Shack, even though it looks nothing like a shack. Kelly calls it magical. He described it to the Tennessean as the greatest indoor architecture design we have seen, nuzzled into the side of the mountain. This house is incredible. Maybe a move to Tennessee is in my future and your future. I feel like we could be roommates. We could split $6 million down the middle,
Let's
$3
do
million
it.
apiece. Let's go. You know, and that's all I got today. That's the Star Treks.
I'm still hung up on the treehouse. It's insane. All right, stay with us. How's Bachelorette winner Garrett handling his brand new engagement to Becca, and how does he feel about her exes staying in the picture? Plus, we hear from Oxenberg, who is opening up about saving her daughter from the controversial self-help group Nexium. That is coming up. But first, in celebration of cats all over the world on International Cat Day, we've been asking you to tweet your favorite cat gifts. So let's take a look at some of your answers. That doesn't look like a cat. My favorite cat is my parrot, Otis, who believes that he's a cat. Oh, maybe we don't hear the sound. Maybe he's making cat noises.
I don't know, but I really want a cat, but I kind of feel like people are going to call me a cat
Is that
lady.
real? I don't think that's...
Yes!
No, that's not real.
It's a gift. It's like the cat was up and it's kind of moving around. Do you have any cats?
I don't have cats. Do you?
No, but I want one.
I
do. I don't want people to think
I'm
I'm
gonna
a cat
appreciate
lady.
cats today, but overall, I do like dogs.
All right.
Oh, that's cute.
Let's see.
He pounds it.
Oh yeah, I've
High
seen that.
five.
Keep sending us those gifts, but now moving on to this, take a look.
And you might be wondering or asking, Carrie, why is your tour starting in May? Well, yay! Mike and Isaiah and I are absolutely over the moon and excited to be adding another little fish to our pond. Yeah, have a great day.
That's right. Baby makes 4 for Carrie Underwood and her hubby, Mike Fisher.
The singer announced the happy news on Instagram Wednesday morning, along with her brand new Cry Pretty 360, which will kick off in May 2019. That's a tour, and you know, of course, this will happen after the baby makes his or her big debut. We don't know which yet.
No, in the Instagram video, she goes on to say how excited they are to share all of this with their fans and how much she loves them.
The couple has already been married for 8 years. Time sure does fly. And baby number 2 will join their 3-year-old son, Isaiah Michael.
Back in April, Carrie dished to People about striking a balance between work and family life, saying the couple's, quote, whole life has changed since welcoming Isaiah.
She said since their lives were so crazy before Isaiah, they were worried about making it work, but she says, quote, you just make room and you learn how important that family time is. She goes on to say, that's what it's all about.
And in her cover story for Red Book's September issue, which dropped a few days ago, Carrie said that because of her age, she's 35, the couple, quote, may have missed our chance to have a big family. She said they even talked about pursuing adoption in the future.
Many fans applauded her openness and agreed that it becomes a lot harder to have kids as you get closer to 40, but some felt she was misguided and shared their outrage on Twitter. Of course they did.
Of course they did. It's on Twitter
did.
unless people are outraged. The arguments for that women are having babies later in life these days, that it only depends on your health and your desire to have more kids. So definitely a little disagreement on that one.
Yeah. She can have her own opinion. But one thing we all can say and we can all agree on is that this is extremely happy news.
Yes.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, it comes after a rough year for Carrie, who notably fell in November on the steps of her house. She suffered a broken wrist and severe cuts to her face. She needed surgery after the accident and got between 40 to 50 stitches. And she prepared fans with a post in her fan club, writing that she might look a little different when they saw her again after that.
But she has definitely bounced back and seems to be doing better than ever. We're so happy for her and her fam.
Yes, all right, moving on to this. The Story of the Royals is a 2-night television event on ABC presented by People.
Friends, experts, and Palace insiders, aka me, imagine if that was my title, Palace Insider,
I wish.
are taking us behind the royal curtain for a candid look at the line of succession. Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, Prince William, and Prince George, as well as all of the royal fans' biggest modern milestone.
From the Queen's coronation to the latest royal baby, the ABC special takes us on a ride through the exciting evolution of the world's most famous family. Take a look.
There is only one job the royal family has: survive.
The royal family is a fairy tale for Americans.
What is it that you like so much about William and Kate? Absolutely everything.
We have a new cast of characters.
Meghan Markle, she's American, biracial, divorced.
From ABC and People, everything you ever wanted to know.
I did not have any understanding of what it would be like.
The Story of the Royals starts Wednesday, August 22nd on ABC.
I'm definitely checking that out. It's really cool to hear from all of those insiders, aka me. They've got the creator of Meghan's former show Suits, her former theater professor, even a former press secretary to the Queen.
And our royal fever is at an all-time high after Harry and Meghan's wedding in May. We'll definitely be tuning into that.
Switching gears to this, let's take a look.
I did everything wrong. I used the brainwashing word, I used the cult word, and you do not use those words with people in that situation. So my worst fear of rupturing our relationship came true.
So this is a very intense story. In this week's People, former Dynasty star Catherine Oxenberg opens up about saving her daughter from sinister self-help group NXIVM, a group she says has all the earmarks of a cult.
Oxenberg's daughter, India, was originally introduced to NXIVM back in 2011 when the two attended what they thought was a self-care seminar.
Oxenberg says she felt the event was weird and creepy, but sadly her daughter, who was 19 at the time, felt the group was for her.
I watched India get progressively more and more sucked in. I thought that one day she would literally wake up and go, you know what, this was a phase, I've outgrown it, doesn't serve me anymore, and I'm gonna move on with my life. And that didn't happen. It wasn't until April 2017 that somebody stepped forward and said, I need to tell you what's really going on. I need to tell you what your daughter is part of. And that's when I learned about DOS. What I learned was that there was a secret group of women that called each other slaves and masters, and that they'd had to sign a lifetime vow of commitment to their master.
That's so crazy. Oxenberg learned that DOS was a secret sorority within NXIVM led by a man named Keith Raniere.
The women in DOS were considered slaves in order to go on a near-starvation diet and were forcibly branded with Raniere's initials.
Oxenberg learned her daughter was branded, but she denies it was the man's initials, says it was a Latin symbol. By November of 2017, she was meeting with New York State investigators and the FBI to take NXIVM down.
4 months later, in March 2018, Raniere was arrested on charges of sex trafficking, among other counts, and now sits in prison awaiting trial this coming January.
But Oxenberg's fight isn't entirely over. She recently learned that prosecutors who are building the case against NXIVM named India, who left the group, as a co-conspirator in court papers. The actress says her heart broke into 1,000 pieces when she read that and doesn't know if her daughter will face any charges.
For now, she and India are back in each other's lives and are slowly rebuilding what was lost.
Oxenberg tells her story in her new memoir, Captive, A Mother's Crusade to Save Her Daughter from a Terrifying Cult, as a warning to others.
The point of the book is to show that if somebody like India, who's probably the most sane, level-headed, grounded, loving, beautiful human being, if it can happen to her, it can happen to anybody, truly.
Rebecca Jill Kufrin, my Becca, will you marry me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Give me that finger.
Oh my God. It's you. It's us. We're finally together.
Oh my God. I love you so much.
I love you.
Oh, true love. We all remember this, right? The Bachelorette finale aired Monday night. We're still talking about the newly engaged couple, Becca and Garrett. Well, I got the chance to catch up with them right here in the Big Apple, where Garrett opened up about the more difficult parts of the season, including his fiance's emotional breakup with runner-up Blake.
I just thought she loved me back. She just felt like we weren't right for each other. All I can imagine is how happy she's going to be when Garrett proposes to her.
You know, it's tough. I put myself in his shoes watching that back, and I feel for him, and I would probably have been the same way, so.
Yeah, and then did you guys watch the season together? What was one of the harder things that you had to watch and then talk about?
I mean, we could be together some weeks, so we'd watch some episodes, and then the ones that we were apart, we would talk through it, and if there was anything major, like a major conversation with another guy that I had talked with, I would let him know. And even prior to the season starting, we had talked about what went on and where my head and my heart was at those last couple of weeks, and so I didn't want him to be blindsided and be, unsure of what was coming up, and so that was something that I always wanted to be super open with him about.
That sounds pretty fair. When you date a group of guys all at once, things can get a little tricky. I asked Garrett how he'd feel if Becca maintained friendships with the other guys, including fan favorite Jason.
So Jason made a comment that he wants to be friends with you after this whole experience. So what are your thoughts on friends with exes? Garrett, are you gonna allow this?
You know, I will allow it. I thought Jason was a great guy. I still think he's a great guy. He's a lot of fun to be around, and I enjoyed him in the house. I enjoyed him on the show, and I see him being a forever friend.
Okay. So are you going to allow her to be friends with all of her exes or just Jason?
You know, from the guys on the show that I know, I would allow her to be friends with whoever she wanted to be. I thought they were all great guys that I got to meet that she wants to be friends with still, and yeah, Jason's one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We still stay in touch with some of them, and we'll
Yeah.
talk and text, and you know, there's so many relationships that form from the show, whether it's friendships or romantically. And I mean, most of those guys were great stand-up men that I'm glad that he still wants in his life, and same for me.
I don't know. Would you allow your current
No, am I
person
the only one looking at this like, what in the world?
Yeah, like I don't know if you should be friends with all of your exes. Also, it's like
No.
20 to 30 men.
I can imagine. Yeah, let's take 20 to 30 men and let's just still hang out with all of them and let's be friends.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
I actually feel like if I did this show and then I met somebody and then we were together and then I sat and watched the whole season, it would be done.
It'd be terrible. You'd be like,
We
wait,
wouldn't
why
be
you
together.
loved more than me? What? All right, let's take one last peek at our question of the day. We've been asking what your favorite cat gif is in honor of International Cat Day, and you've been sending them. Oh, just a cat hugging a little puppy.
Okay,
that's not real.
It's not real, but it's funny.
It's funny, but it's not real.
There we go. That's all
for
from
you,
me.
Megan.
Yes.
Because you're a DJ. All right.
We'll be back tomorrow with another question of the day, so be sure to tune in.
And coming up tomorrow, we've got Jessica Alba live in studio, filling us in on family life and The Honest Company. Plus,
country singer Cody Johnson is talking all about his latest music and his fast rise to stardom. You don't want to miss that.
Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Lauren Cohan. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Lauren Cohan, and this is One Last Thing. The last song that was stuck in my head was We're Off to See the Wizard. Don't know why. Last show I binge watched was gosh, what's it called? Why did I just forget what it's called? It's on NBC. It's Mandy Moore.
This Is Us.
This Is Us, thank you. And the last thing I Googled was the closest Orange Theory location.